race whatsoever. These are the possible race strategies for you. Those soft
Hello.
runners should be coming in round about lap 16. But the track temperature cooling all the time.
Okay, so here we go. Barcelona watch along, even.
Yeah.
I'm joined by Miss Sarah Hawkey.
Hello, hello. And on my side, I'm joined by Midnight Icing.
Hello also. And we have the F1 Grand Prix to enjoy. And that'll be Leclerc starting from the pits.
Yeah. Don't think it was very good qualifying for him yesterday.
No. Yeah, qualifying was literally all over the place yesterday. But
Lando up in P3, I think that's pretty good.
But can he stay there for the race? That is the question.
With that McLaren, probably not.
Yeah, I feel the same about Hulkenberg in 7th.
I mean, if he can stay there, then great.
Absolutely. And we're hoping for it. We're hoping for a Lando podium, hoping for a Hulkenberg points. Likelihood is Perez and Leclerc are going to come through at some point, and Max is going to go bye-bye and disappear off into the distance.
See ya. I'm doing well, Pedro. Thanks for asking, and how are you?
And good to see you, Pedro. Thank you for doing qualifying yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you know, I'm actually excited about this one. Traditionally, Barcelona is a bit crap. But it's our second track circuit of the year. It is in Europe, and it's a new layout, and there's a lot of cars fast starting cars at the back. So it's lights out. Oh! Oh! Will Sainz get Max down to T1? No.
No. Who's that on the inside of Lando? Is that Hamilton?
It was, and Hamilton's...
Yeah, Hamilton.
Oh, Lando's lost a bit of front wing.
Oh no!
That could easily be a puncher for Hamilton too.
Come on, Brits, don't take each other out.
Stroll's trying to do Hamilton. He's done him. Ooh, that was a spicy start. And Max is gone already.
Yep.
Right, well that damage to... I think it was Lando's front end plate. Perez having a look. Oh, okay, Norris is coming in. He's going to have a new front wing.
No.
There he goes.
Well, that that was a chaotic start.
So
P3.
P3,
Yeah.
P3 to P20.
Maybe he's trying third to last to then last to first challenge.
So what Perez did at that his first win at Bahrain a few years back.
Maybe.
It's possible. To me, there's two strategies. Run around with... Oh, he's taking ages to get going. Couldn't find a gear there. To me, there's two strategies with...
Seconds.
Yeah, there's two strategies. He could either have continued round hoping for a safety car or, you know, VSC later on and got the front wing changed under that, or pit now and get it out of the way. So, yeah, and as Pedro said, those brakes were smoking. Yeah. The brakes themselves are made of carbon and other composite materials. When they get hot, they can catch fire.
When they get hot, they get hot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, drop my phone.
Smooth. Okay, I'm hoping the Ferrari, with all the upgrades that they've had, can stay with the Red Bull at least long enough to put the Red Bull onto a different non-optimum strategy so the others can keep with him, but we'll see how this goes. Max is on the harder tyre, on the medium, compared to everyone else in the soft, and he's still pulling away.
Yeah, that's pretty mad.
Yeah. And as Nick says, "Nyum."
Hello, Nick. I noticed that Leclerc hasn't made a lot of spaces up in P19.
Well, he started in the pit lane behind, I was going to say Latifi there, but the other one, Sargent.
Whose fault was that? Was that Hamilton or was that Norris going a bit too?
From that angle, looks more like Hamilton.
Yeah.
But it is lap 1. There's always going to be a bit of collision. So we're going to see it from Norris's point of view now. It's a shame that Sainz couldn't get ahead of Max just to make the race for the win a bit more interesting. So, okay. Okay, from that angle, it looks like Norris just drove into the back of Lewis.
Maybe Hamilton did the old brake check, like, wait.
Conspiracy theory.
Caught you out.
Verstappen did that thing he always does and tries to drive someone off the track. I hate that about him. I really do.
So, Pedro says, I believe Charles might have had a crack on his chassis yesterday.
Would explain his pace problem.
No.
I did hear that they checked the car over and couldn't find anything. But which driver was it? It was Kimi many, many years ago. He said there was something felt wrong with his car, and there's something wrong with it in the back left quadrant of the car. The mechanics tore it down, not a problem. Got it back to the factory a week later, they found a crack in the chassis. So the driver's buttocks can tell them a lot about the car that the mechanics can't see.
Just an incident.
Okay, there is Zhou into the top 8. Actually, that's bloody good going.
Russell gaining an advantage by leaving the track.
Well, he's up 5 positions, and so is Zhou.
Saying that, what did you think of the whole old Mercedes boys coming together in quality yesterday? If you've seen the clips.
I've seen it. A bit silly more than anything.
Yeah.
Hamilton could have probably backed out knowing that Russell was probably going for a lap. Russell probably could have just not turned in on him.
Yeah.
Bit silly, really. The teammates doing teammate things.
Fastest lap. All the way down in 20th. Go on, Norris.
Yeah, clear air. And he's just going for it. I mean, when it comes to race pace, that McLaren, maybe not the best. 1 lap pace, it's doing pretty well now. It's had a few upgrades. What do you think?
Yeah. Agree with you there. Maybe quality, especially yesterday, we've seen it pick up pace, but race pace is just still not there.
We'll see if you can maintain it for another 50 laps. Yeah, Pedro's got a very valid point there. What do you think? And there goes Perez on Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg down to 10th. Bottas is pitted already. That's strange.
Maybe another potential issue as well.
That's Norris 1 place back towards the podiums.
From Bottas so far this year, have we really?
No. The theory is that he's hanging around trying to wait until Audi come in 2026. But by then he's in the sort of twilight of his career, so it's going to be... Okay, Alonso's up a couple of positions as well in P6. Stroll is still running in third. I mean, we haven't actually mentioned that yet. He's finally showing a turn of pace. Actual letter there. So my thinking at the moment, as soon as there's a couple of gaps in the pack, Stroll or Sainz might pit for the hard tyre and try and undercut Max. But they do need to be a bit closer to him.
And that pit stop from Bottas didn't help Norris at all.
He does now have a full front wing.
Yeah.
And now Norris has got Bottas right in front of him. I would rather imagine from Bottas he's had some front wing damage somewhere. Because he's curiously very close to Norris.
Space without this.
That's all.
That's what they need.
Hamilton's still on the back of Stroll.
Tsunoda's in the points as well, says Pedro. Yeah.
Well, technically he's in the point at the moment.
Yeah. He's in the point.
Hooray! Charles overtaking them Williams.
Wow.
Wow.
Highlight of 2023 so far.
For Charles it might be, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the hard tyre, unlike everyone in front of him. Okay, Hamilton's got Stroll. And, okay, Piastri. Got Hulk. Hulk's just going backwards, isn't he?
The time you have to leave the base.
Hulkenberg's race pace just seems to be off compared to K-Mag, doesn't it? I can only help think that it's more Hulkenberg's using more of the tyres than, say, Kevin.
Well, Kevin wasn't using any of the right tyres last weekend.
Well, maybe he knew something we didn't.
What, hards when it was raining?
Okay, maybe his HUD didn't update and he was still driving in the dry.
Maybe.
We've seen that in GT7 before.
True.
It's wet here.
It's raining.
Are you sure? Hashtag
Follow
dumb ways
around
to
your
spin.
corner. Yeah, dumb ways to spin.
Right,
I see what you did there, Pedro.
Perez just got so much more pace than the guys around him.
Red Bull gives you wings. And obviously a fast car. Maybe it's fueled on Red Bull, that's why.
Maybe it's what on Red Bull?
Fueled by Red Bull, like the drink. So it's just going blasting around.
Russell, no. Leaving the track and gaining advantage, no investigation required. Okay, yeah, Verstappen's just leaving Sainz and Hamilton now.
On the mediums.
Well, okay, yeah, Max has actually set the fastest lap now. The soft tyres are just good for 1 or 2 laps, traditionally around here. I think we're already in the official pit window for going over to the mediums and the hards. But there is potential rain expected for this race.
Oh.
But we didn't expect any from Monaco, and we still got some. Okay, there we go. Zhou's in the pits. De Vries is in the pits.
Yep.
I just realised the Alfa Romeo is my colour theme for my cars.
Oh yeah.
Wonder why I liked it more this year. Okay, Russell's on the back of Ocon. I think everyone's seen enough of the back of Ocon recently, after Monaco and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely knows how to defend that Frenchman. Alonso's not on the back of Russell, which I find interesting.
No.
So that would be Gasly on Hulkenberg, or was that K-Mag?
Venus.
K-Mag.
K-Mag, yeah. Hello, Mr. GT Addict.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, Russell does have DRS. Hey, we got a Flappy as well who says hello.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. Russell into turn 1. There's a lot of talk about getting rid of DRS. Do you think that is too early to get rid of DRS?
Yeah.
It's still needed, isn't it?
100%. I think with some of the cars, they need it.
Yeah. Okay, there's loads of pit stops going on down the field now.
Yeah. The soft tyre just doesn't seem to last, like, very long.
They do seem to be qualifying tyres, and that's it now.
I was gonna say, I swear we've seen more, like, this year, more races where they literally just go on the hard tyres, that's it.
It reminds me of the Bridgestone years with Vettel. Just go to the hard tyre and go to the end.
Yeah, like, at least last year, the years before, you saw some medium, some softs, like, soft, medium, medium, or medium, medium, soft, and then here it's just, you start on maybe...
What a move! Sorry.
Oh,
Double
that was a
overtake.
move and a half, yeah. Jesus.
Oh, that was a good bit of racing.
Yeah, it was. Fair play, that was good.
I think that was Hulk as well. It was Hulk. Well, you may say he's not got the greatest of race pace, but he's still... Well, he just set the fastest lap.
He's got the moves.
He's not got the greatest of race pace, and I just saw, bing! Fastest lap.
Yeah,
A pop-up.
fastest lap.
Hulk is doing this to me on purpose. Okay,
He's
so...
debating you. Is that Hawaii?
Yeah, does seem to be. Oh, we got a Mandy here as well. Evening. And you're always needed, Mandy. It's lovely to see you. Right, I'm going to have a quick look to see what the incoming weather is going to be for the Grand Prix, because frankly I want to know if we're going to expect any.
Good Norway still down in 20th.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Norris needs a combination red flag and new tyres.
Switch positions here, confirm status for.
I'd imagine something to do with the diff.
Oh, they're telling him to pick up the pace. But was that for Leclerc or was that for Sainz?
That was for signs.
Oh, so they're fearing that Hamilton is going to come and pip him.
I've just loaded a page on weather for Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. It says it's 24 degrees and it says, and I quote, rain starting in 3 minutes.
Oh.
We'll see. We will see.
Ew.
Yes, Pedro says Sainz being his own strategist.
maybe they're seeing something we don't at the moment.
Well,
It'd be funny if, like, our side, we could have predicted, like, it is actually going to start in 3 minutes, and then we just look like absolute bosses where we're like, yep, we predicted it.
we are the strategic gods.
Yeah, we saw it before any F1 team.
Yeah, we've got Google, and they've got multi-million pound, Met services at their fingertips, and we've just got Google,
Yeah.
and we're more accurate than them. Okay, 4-way fight round turn 3 with the Alpine coming out the pits. It seems to have really screwed up the AlphaTauri there. Well, then again, they're kind of like changing positions at will, these three.
We don't care about the front runners. We'll just watch this battle for the rest of the race.
Oh, I've just seen why the Ferrari strategist is telling Sainz to go.
Hamilton is there.
Yeah, he's on his butt.
Yeah. But in the F1 2022, like, this looks like like one of the camera views from the game, like the F1 2022 game. You can't see nothing.
Yeah.
But his helmet.
It looks good though.
It looks good. It looks very good. I like his helmet.
Yeah.
And obviously it's Pride Month this month, so I'm glad that he's still running it.
Pride Month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
June is Pride Month.
I accidentally once went to Amsterdam during Pride Week with with 3 other guys. True story.
But I don't know. Is the FIA still protesting for no, like, political statements and stuff, or are they kind of drop that?
Yeah, very valid point. That is technically a political thing. I think it's still in effect.
To be fair, I think he should run it. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks alright.
It's got a good meaning behind it. And
yeah. Okay, Stroll's early pit stop has put him right behind the Williams. So this is not actually looking particularly good for the Aston Martin crew. Oh, there goes Sainz. So he's going to try and undercut Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine Hamilton and Verstappen are going to go longer than the rest of them.
Verstappen has the choice because he's on mediums.
Yeah,
and we'll have to pit before him.
Yeah, you can go longer than everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, these lot are still scrapping. Okay, so
I don't know if anyone saw, talking about helmets. You know Bottas?
Yep.
His helmet last week was like Pac-Man
Was it?
on his helmet, but I only saw it till afterwards.
Because they do so many liveries, so... Hamilton saying his tyres are alright. Is he feeling alright?
Are you right?
Yeah. This is what my bugbear with liveries and helmets. They do so many of them these days, it becomes non-special. Don't get me wrong, a little bit of changing it up here and there can be nice, but
yeah,
if they do something every race, it ceases to be interesting after 24 different designs and 24 races sort of deal.
I do like the ones that have a like meaning behind them, like what Seb used to do with his.
Yeah.
Hamilton now.
It was always celebrating something.
I think it's the drivers like trying to, I don't know, portray themselves and what they believe in.
True.
Because on the car they can't really do much. On their helmet, it's their choice.
True.
It's on their head.
Yeah. And Charles has already got rid of the hard tyres.
A good choice.
Maybe
that means we'll have to pit again.
Yeah. Maybe the hard tyres aren't holding up as well as they thought. Maybe it's going to be a mediums race. A lot of maybes in that sentence.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know, Pedro. Maybe you did, and maybe then only. I don't know.
So the top 7 still haven't pitted. Perez up to P5.
Yeah, Piastri into P6. Good old pastry.
Or pastry.
That's made me hungry now.
I do fancy a Greg sausage roll now.
Yeah.
For those that aren't in England, exquisite bakery stuff. Not there are other bakery products and suppliers available.
Greg, sponsor us.
I'll eat one live on air.
Yeah, and here we have a Greg sausage roll.
Yeah, nom. I'm surprised the combination Hamilton, Russell, Alonso and Gasly on the soft tyres are still circulating after we've seen some hard tyres already pit.
Maybe it's very car dependent at the moment.
I'm wondering if it's something as simple as if you're running behind someone, your tyres are shredding. If you're in a bit of clear air, it's fine.
Could be that. Because obviously the dirty air is going to have an effect.
Yeah. With this section that Sainz is going around now, with that fast chicane gone. Oh, here we go. Sainz on the Alpine. Yep, that's fair. There's so many fast left-handers now. I would imagine being tucked under someone's rear wing is absolutely shredding those tyres.
Hang on. Did I say that Hamilton is on... He's not even on new softs.
Oh.
He's on... I think he's on a scrub set. Probably from yesterday.
He's doing damn well then.
He said it was only 2... I think it was 21 lap old ones. So only two laps. But still.
It sounds like... well, there was a red flag in one of the sessions, I think. Or some yellow flags, I can't remember which. You might have just done 2 laps and swapped to another set. Which means they're basically new.
Pedro has a question here for us. What are your thoughts on the penalties given to Gasly?
You can answer that one if you like.
I mean, the FIA, I'm assuming they're just trying to be consistent with their penalty giving out. I mean, from the video that I saw from Alonso's point of view, it did look quite
Speaking
bad.
of, here he is.
And even Alonso was calling for it because he was like, whoa. But just look in your mirrors. If you see a faster car, move over. If you can. Or when you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just application of the rules. 2 separate incidents, 2 penalties. Not fun, but consistent.
Then that meme pops into my head again. It's weird it happened twice, right?
Okay, Leclerc up to P15. GT Addict says he would have just given them fines. Interesting. I mean, that would impact their budget.
Maybe.
If it comes out of the budget.
Also, GT Addict says, chicane or no chicane? I prefer no chicane. Also, if Gasly blocked someone and didn't go through to the next session, I would have just given fines. Yeah.
Oh, as a compound thing. So, okay, like a penalty and fines. Harsh, but would stop people doing it. I still can't believe that the top 4 are still going. There's a lot of passes going on to the point we're not even paying attention to some of them.
To the chicane, no chicane. What's your opinions? You preferring it this way, the older layout, or did you prefer with the chicane?
Prefer this way, but I don't mind the chicane too much. We've raced it so many times, I'm kind of used to it. But given the choice, I would go with the current chicane. Oh, slow stop. What about yourself?
Oh, is that's SD Bestie, in it? That one. That's slow stop.
On Leclerc around the outside. He was lucky to get that, actually, with that slow stop.
Like you, I think I prefer it this way, to be honest.
Yeah, it's more flowing.
And hopefully it leads to less bumping.
Well, we can hope.
So I've just noticed that Hulkenberg still got the fastest lap.
Nope, it's Gasly.
Oh, Gasly. As I said that, Gasly. Could have waited until I finished saying it.
Yeah, I looked down and it just said Gasly. That must have changed as you said it.
Sorry, Hulkenberg. I didn't mean to jinx you there.
The tyre weight is considerably higher, but the chicane made it really awkward, at least for F1 racing. For F1, yeah, get rid of the chicane. For GT racing, I'm less bothered by the chicane. I think it depends on what group you're racing at the time. Okay, when are the top 4 going to pit?
I don't know. I mean,
The more I look at it, I think Max might be on a one-stopper.
yeah, mediums to hards probably.
To be fair, the top 4 could be on a one-stop.
With the softs though, don't know if they'll make it.
Well,
Depends how early they want to go into those hard tyres, and then why has Leclerc started on the hard tyres and gone to softs? It just doesn't make sense.
it's an interesting strategy either way.
Norris is pitted again, so obviously.
So those hard tyres lasted 23 laps.
And he's gone from 20th to 20th.
Yeah. Again, Max and Hamilton and all that have done 24 laps on the medium and softs.
Hmm.
Do you know, I'd love to see a overtake counter on this race because it's actually very high. With all these different strategies playing out, all teams and drivers on completely different tyres, with the exception of the wets. Give Ferrari a couple of laps. Yeah, there's so much action going on actually. Incredible amounts. It's just a shame it's all for 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
Pedro, I think you might be right there, because it just doesn't make sense for them to go to the hards to the softs at the moment. Like, they should have waited until a little bit later into the race, I reckon.
Ideally, yeah. Brundle was just saying he thinks that the Ferrari might still be not handling very well. It could be. It could be there's a problem with it still after qualifying. Or it could be the fact he's in traffic is ruining his tyres. It could be any of the above.
Yeah, Gasly.
I've started seeing the TikTok memes from those now. The Ricciardo and Gasly ones.
Now?
Yeah, I've only just started seeing them.
Only now?
Yeah.
They've been around for ages.
Yeah. I saw the first one like 3 or 4 days ago, and then I saw about 5 in a row. So I don't write the algorithm.
So I'm assuming you've seen the Nico Hulkenberg one.
Oh, that one I'd seen a long
Oh.
while back, yeah. Right, so Hamilton's pitted, he's been in. On to medium tyres has come out right behind Sainz, so with Hamilton going an extra, what, 6-7 laps? He's only dropped 3 seconds compared to Sainz. So I would imagine Hamilton's looking good for a P2 or P3, depending on what Perez does.
No, GT Addict, he doesn't. Because when he says, I'm going to bed, an hour to 2 hours later, he'll be sending us TikToks. So he's always on TikTok.
And for one, I'm not the only one who does that, Sarah, Pedro.
I didn't say that I didn't. But still.
Ooh, I wondered if there might be a bit of front wing damage from the AlphaTauri there. Okay, there goes for Russell.
When does that,
Yeah, and you
Hamilton
were
did
right
it
there,
as well.
Sarah.
Hey, when does Hamilton pit?
About a lap ago, right before Russell.
Oh. Ew.
Okay, so only the Red Bulls haven't pitted. Shocker. And knowing the luck of Red Bull, now there'll be a safety car.
Probably. Wait, did Press start on the mediums?
Yep.
No. Okay.
Okay, here comes Max. And insert joke about Crofty going, he's taking it to the max.
Do.
Do, 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 do.
Have you heard the new song Fernando Alonso?
No, I haven't.
Stop Boys. It's kind of catchy. It's not as catchy as the Max one.
Well, I can try. Okay, Stroll was running, obviously, ahead of, well, Hamilton and all that earlier on, but somewhere in the traffic he's lost nearly 8 seconds. So staying out, running on old tyres is clearly better than fighting in traffic around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt's gone to hard tyres, so 39 laps to the end. No. That's got to be a
He's in
two-stop.
clear air.
He is.
Clean air.
If anyone can do it, he can.
What happened there then? What did they do wrong?
Well, it looks like the Haas Jack drivers screwed each other over there. Drivers?
Yeah, it looked a bit weird.
Yeah, it looks
Let's
like,
see that one again.
yeah, one of them put the jack so close, the other one, the main one, couldn't put the jack in. That looks a bit stupid. Oh, who set the fastest lap? K-Mag! There we go. So, essentially, whoever's just pitted most recently gets fastest lap. Rain! Rain! Oh, and there comes Perez. Oh, that could be horrible timing for Perez.
Oh, this race just got spicy.
And fastest lap for Russell. If the rain is starting now, that might be the fastest lap for the rest of the Grand Prix.
Maybe.
Okay, watch the cars spinning off.
Wee. We drifting.
Okay, Hamilton on signs. He didn't even defend that properly.
Oh.
That's quite poor from Sainz. He just doesn't seem to like fight. He's a bit like Bottas. He doesn't like fighting.
Is that? Oh, just come over.
Yeah, just come on through.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to keep you behind me anyway. I'm not going to try. Russell Purple second to 1 as well.
Obviously, the rain's not that bad then, is it?
Is Horner measuring the rain with his hand?
Yes.
Okay. It's obvious thing to do, really, isn't it? Is it raining? My hand's getting wet.
I mean, Google wasn't that wrong. I know it wasn't 3 minutes, but more like, I don't know, 15 minutes. So, we predicted it first, that's all I'm saying.
Although now it says it's rain starting in 49 minutes on my thing, so so it's
We'll take the first prediction.
yeah, Google's not always right.
Oh, I really needed that graphic there that was telling me that Max Verstappen was in the race lead, because I didn't know that already.
Well, he's about a pit stop ahead of everyone up to about 6th or 7th now.
Mhm.
And I would imagine he's going to set the fastest lap on this lap. Unless he's bringing his tyres up to temperature slowly.
I think Russell was doing in me. It's raining. Oh, it's not that bad.
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, you just him just come the last corner and just drifted.
Do you know what? It's sad to see that the Haas team have just gone all the way to the back.
Yeah.
After quite a good qualifying. They just haven't got any race pace.
Nope.
I have to say, Hamilton is doing an exceptional job to stay within half a second a lap of Max. In a what I presume is a much more developed Red Bull car compared to the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And no,
I believe don't the Mercedes have a slightly different side pod this weekend?
They do. I think they introduced it last weekend. However, it's still going to be.
It was Monaco, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Like.
Yeah. This is the first weekend of high downforce. So they're going to be actually gathering data.
Mhm. Yeah, well, if it stays out how it is now, I believe Mercedes will potentially overtake Aston Martin for second place in the Constructors' Championship.
Does that put Ferrari 4th still? Jeez.
I believe so. Don't quote me.
How are we almost halfway into the race? Well, 45 minutes, nearly halfway. That still puts it about an hour and a half. But we are going to be losing 5-6 seconds a lap off not having that chicane. So multiply that across, 66 laps. It's a cut 3 or 4 minutes. Shorter of a race than last year.
I'll let you do the maths on that one because I'm just going to share it over my head.
Having the chicane there not having the chicane there means the race is going to be faster.
No, I got with that. I was just like,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Okay, so Perez has got Alonso, despite Alonso being on the soft tyre and Perez being on the hard.
Sure, pick
What?
from what tyres did Stroll start on? Mediums. Or
Soft,
hard?
I think.
So he's gone soft, or has he not stopped?
No, he has stopped. I think he's gone soft.
Yeah. That's gonna be a meme and a half.
What the hell?
I can't wait for that to be memed. That... Oh god.
Russell's clearly a bit hot and his visor's getting a bit misty and he's mistaking it for rain.
That's worse than me.
What the actual hell? Oh, Hulkenberg just got Albon somewhere. That's a new one, isn't it?
That's a new one.
Do you know what? I am surprised that Perez is, after pitting, he's fallen back to 8th. I thought he was going to be much closer to the Mercedes boys. Guess not.
Maybe it's that thing once you're in the pack.
Yeah, okay. There goes Hulk on the Duracell Williams.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I'm gonna use that excuse next on GT7.
Add it to the list of excuses.
Yeah.
I guess rain's not coming then.
Well, if George keeps sweating, then it might.
You have to have a lot of sweat. Okay, now we're entering the sort of halfway point of the race where things have calmed down a little bit. Things are sorting themselves out with the pace of the cars now. Perez Senior's here.
Well, I reckon we're going to see Russell pass Sainz.
And there goes Perez a knock on. That Red Bull just looks glued to the ground, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stroll was on old soft tyres, so to be fair, Stroll's done 22 laps on the soft, so he's done pretty damn well to get them that far.
Yeah.
He's within the range now of going to the hard tyres and going to the end, I'd say. But it's going to put him right back in the pack again. Somewhere, Tsunoda has got Alonso.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly
Just
surprised.
that happened in the pit stop.
Possibly. I'm pleasantly surprised at the pace of Tsunoda this year. He's seemingly growing up a bit. Here we go.
What?
Russell on sign. Hang on. Did we just see two different passes from... I swear we were on board with an Aston Martin and we saw a Mercedes go through.
I don't know, that was a bit confusing, that one. Just go back into the pits.
I think we just saw Alonso passing Zhou as Russell passed Sainz. Huh?
That messed with my head.
That was weird.
And Tsunoda went in the pits as well.
Excuse me. Pedro says he
Well,
thinks... He's asking what's happened to Alonso and he thinks that Aston were expecting rain to come. Possibly. Piastri still running in the points. Norris still last. It's a shame to see Norris just not doing anything. It does seem to be when he ends up at the back of the pack, he just switches off.
Not to be like thingy here, but with that McLaren, would you possibly retire it from the race? knowing that you could save the engine if you're not going to make up any places and been a bit of a shit race for him, basically.
From a financial and a mechanical wear point of view, yes. If there's no chance of points, I wouldn't have bothered.
But then you could say it's throwing the dummy out of the pram, but
Somewhat, yes.
yeah. Either way, I think it's a bit.
Given the rule set, I would be tempted to go save the cash, save the time, save the engine wear, park it. But this is not what we want to be seeing.
No, definitely not what we want to be seeing, but we've seen worse before.
Yeah. The only way they could do to get rid of that kind of thing is extend the points down to, say, 15th or something.
Yeah.
That way there's always something to race for. Would anyone else be up for that? Like, say, 30 points for a win, and then 25 for second, and then down the order, all the way 15th for 1 point? That sort of thing?
The BTCC do that. They have like 26 or 27 runners, and they score from 1 to 15. So, I don't know, maybe it works on that because they've got slightly more, like, on the grid. But...
Ooh, the two alphas coming out together. Sorry.
Or, technically, couldn't they just do, like... flipping it on its head, right? 20 points for first place, and then 1 point... What about that kind of thing? 1 point for 20th place. Then everyone's always getting points, and it makes the Drivers' Championship, like, always different.
I would say at that point, though, there's literally no... The reason why there is 7 points gap between 21st for 25 for first, 18 for second, is so that there is a big gap and makes it worth someone trying to go for the win.
True.
Rather than just, I've got 18 points for third, I'll just sit here. I know what you're saying. Realistically, yes, it would introduce a new dynamic, and it would mean, for instance, the championship would never be settled until, I don't know, like 5 races to the end, depending on reliability, of course. But at a certain point, even if you don't finish, don't start, you're still getting points. It's kind of... I do think there needs to be a cut-off. At least the bottom 5 shouldn't get points. But there's ways you could do it, I think. Unless you were to have a bigger grid, like Pedro's just said. 24 cars. Points 18th or 20th. Could be interesting. I think IndyCar do something like that. Or used to. Then again, they also get a point for pole position, I think.
Like BTCC, they have 26 or 27 runners, go up to 15. So
yeah, okay.
There's a little bit more of, at least if I get to 15th place, I get a point, sort of thing.
Yeah, I would add the proviso is you need to finish, but.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, so. But I do think that the point system does need adjusting. I mean, in the 90s, you know how many cars scored points? Top 6.
Remember it not, like, I've heard it not being a lot.
Yeah, it was 10 for first, 8, 6. Yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, literally the top 6 only. And then it was the top 8 in the late 2000s, and then it was top 10 from whatever year it was. Oh! The IndyCar's grid has 33 drivers. That's a weird number. Oh! I think they've said Max has gone off somewhere.
And then they're short on.
Yeah, well, why would they show Max doing anything? Anything bad. Okay, here comes the Alpine driver on the AlphaTauri. DRS pass, easy. Piastri and Gasly both in together. I thought that livery for McLaren was a one-off for Monaco.
They decided to run it twice, and their caption was, "It was so nice, we had to do it twice."
Right.
And they're running the same helmets and the same suits as they did last week as well.
Fine.
Maybe because they were like, "Oh, it's only a week. We'll just leave it on. No point like
Well, I get that.
doing it on."
Logically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, no rain, only sweat in this race.
Yep. Athlete sweat.
Athletes, what?
Did you? Oh, come on! You saying you don't know that Danny Rick meme?
Nope.
Kiki.
Nope. It was more the athlete's foot thing. It was more the athlete's foot thing that caught me out there.
Athlete sweat.
Ah,
Real
right.
athlete sweat.
So you said athlete's foot. It's like, okay.
They were interviewing Danny Rick, I think back in his Renault days, and he did an interview with, I think it's that, I'm not sure of his name, but it's the one from the Netherlands.
Sure.
You know, the one that, you know, when they were at Zandvoort and he was talking to Lando, and
It does ring a bell.
it's that guy, and he was asking Danny something.
Oh,
And
the
he's like, yeah,
freeze.
real athlete sweat. I'll send it to you later.
Thanks. De Vries has just got Norris down to turn 1. Sainz is coming in for another stop. That's got to be for the hard tyres to the end.
Wait. Leclerc's gone back onto the softs, or is that the same softs that he's been on?
That's silly softs from his first stop.
So he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah. Well, he was on hards, but yeah, hard's too soft. So.
Yeah, Zigo. That's the name. I couldn't think of his name.
With Ferrari with a double stack, but not one like Monaco last week.
I'll be surprised if Danny Rick doesn't like use that meme in like while talking to Russell. Maybe send him a message saying.
Oh, apparently Charles did 24. I got how did I do that? 24 laps on the softs, which is about the same as what Hamilton did earlier. So where does that put Leclerc?
He's got to do everything he just did again.
I just don't see how some drivers go from 18th, 19th, if not, at the back, come through to finish on the podium, and you get a Ferrari start at the back, and they just end up where they started.
Because of Ferrari.
Yeah. Max is complaining about his tyres, which at this track I think is fair. Anyone complaining about the tyres after, 20 odd laps, 16 in his case, going around turn 3 and the final corner and all that, I think they're entitled to sweat. It's a shame Russell isn't a bit closer to Hamilton. And I know this isn't likely to happen, but if Verstappen would have been likely to pit and come out behind Russell, I would imagine they would leave Hamilton out, and then Russell could fight with Verstappen to try and let Hamilton get away, but not likely. But I mean, Russell's too far behind. But
Russell would just do it for himself. I reckon.
You'd hope that they'd help each other out.
I mean, they haven't so far.
Not really, no. Not this weekend even.
Berg is back in the pits.
No rain between now and the checkered flag. Shocker. I think we were lucky to get some at Monaco, to be fair.
And Russell got his own.
Do you know, I am still absolutely pleasantly surprised that Hamilton is anywhere near Max, but I've got a nasty feeling Max is just cruising.
Really? He's just like, eh, I'm gonna win.
I don't need to push this. Well, let's face it, his main championship threat is Perez, and he's 3 places behind him. The only sort of 2 ways it's going to change at this point is if there's a mechanical failure on a Red Bull, or that suddenly rain just appears. Okay, there goes Alonso for his second stop. So that's him to the end. Onto the hard tyre. Oh, that graphic they put on, hard tyre. Oh, I'm going to talk myself out of the point I was about to make. It said age of tyre, 0 laps. I mean, it might have been a scrub set of tyres, so I talked myself out of going nuts at that one.
Soft boxing. For softs. For softs.
Who?
Russell for softs.
Really?
With 20 laps to go.
Well, Hamilton did 24 earlier on, and the weights come off. K-Mag fastest lap. Alright, okay, I'm game for that. We actually have seen lots of the use of the soft, hard and medium today. What's the bet that Verstappen goes to about like a lap 60 and then goes to the softs?
Probably. Camera turned off. Double me. Hehe. Fuck.
I've been fighting trying to not have to blow my nose, but I had to. It's not something you need to see on camera. Bring back midnight. Well, you've got a few hours to wait for that yet. I didn't go far.
No, you just had double me on my screen.
Oh.
Because where your camera is, mine just moved itself up, and I was like, oh.
You could
Me
sat there
twice.
just
Yeah.
surprise.
But it's inverted, so everything's the other way around in the other one.
Oh. Like, this week we need to look into that other software to see what we can use. Like, I've got a week off, so I intend to... Hello. Lost the feed there for a second. There we go.
We can do some investigations.
Investigations, I agree. Crofty just raised a really good point. No yellow flags. No nothing this race.
Don't jinx it.
Well, the drivers have been impeccable. You've got to give them that. Norris is up to 50. How did he do that?
What? Where?
Norris is up to 15th.
It stops, I believe.
Yeah,
It's helped him out a few.
Oh. If he finishes on the back of Piastri, then that is going to be damning for Piastri. Saying that Leclerc's still 13th. Oof. Okay, Alonso up to P9. Chasing down little Yuki. The pocket rocket in F1
True, yeah.
I'm genuinely looking forward to our GP around here.
Should be good.
It's a track I actually know.
On the 22 one, won't it be with the chicane?
Yes. I know, I'd thought of that one earlier. I was like, ugh. I think we're all looking forward to switching over to 23.
Comes out soon, right?
I believe so. It's going to be expensive, but it might be good just to bin off 22 very quickly. I mean, we had discussed...
It looks worth it, but what I said to Pedro the other day is that I hope it's like it lives up to its hype. Because if it doesn't, it could be like the downfall of that game.
It runs a risk of turning into FIFA.
100%.
Nick and Petro go Yeetie Sonoda. Yeetie Sonoda. Okay. So is Hamilton going to go to the end on these medium tyres? If so, that just shows that the Red Bull and the Mercedes are just miles ahead of everyone else with tyre wear.
Oh, thanks.
Can I have one?
You gave me a selection of everything.
Nice.
Thanks. I've got one sort of crisps. Got another sort of crisps. Got a cookie. I've got another biscuit. Oh, it broke. Another biscuit.
Yeah. Hawkey room service.
A bit of a chocolate bar that's broken. And a fizzy sweet, which is a dummy. Bit of everything.
Okay, there goes Hamilton. He has actually pitted. Okay, Perez looks like he's coming in for the softs too. Ooh, we're going to see some real pace now. Okay, from everyone but Max, but...
Nope, I didn't get in it.
Pedro says Aston's tyre wear is probably better than the Mercedes. Do you know, I'm going to disagree on this one, mate, because we've seen Stroll and Ocon pitting before the Mercedes. Each time. It could be strategy dependent, of course. Okay, Verstappen wants off those hard tyres. Oi, 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 oi.
Wait.
Don't get me wrong, that was legal, but only just.
You want to see some real speed? I won't say the word that comes after that.
Oh, there you go. Lando has pitted again.
Oh.
Okay, so how close is Ocon push Alonso to the... Yeah. Whoa. I mean, that is literally to the letter of the law legal. If very aggressive and entertaining. But I didn't like it, but at least it was entertaining. Okay, so Perez is ended up behind Sainz, and he's only 11 seconds behind Russell. Okay, here comes Max to the pit stop. Are we going to see Perez catch up to Russell? He's going to get Sainz quite easily, but... It is very much looking like Ferrari is the fourth fastest team now, isn't it?
Yeah. Which is a shame compared to last year.
Yeah. I mean, it's a massive disappointment for Ferrari compared to last year when they're actually challenging for the title in the first half of the season. Do you like this reprofiled left-hander? I miss the hard braking into the left-hander. I liked that. Okay, so Sainz yet again let someone through. The more I see of Sainz, the more I think he's more like Bottas than anyone else. He's more like Bottas than Bottas. It's just like he doesn't know how to defend. Or just doesn't bother.
It's the new Bottas.
So, Bedra asked a good question. Now that you've mentioned it, how would you rank the teams in terms of their performance?
Are we going from best to worst or worst to best?
And are you talking sheer speed? Or are you talking how they performed throughout the weekend? Because it's a very different question. But it's actually kind of hard to rank the teams in the lower half because they're so jumbled up in that bottom 10.
I would personally say Williams is still at the bottom.
They're dicing with Haas, but Haas have a lot better one-lap speed.
Williams and Haas, like, nearly together.
Yeah.
Then I reckon...
It's got to be Alfa Romeo, surely.
I was going to say Alfa Romeo. Then...
McLaren.
I don't know.
McLaren or
I
Alpine?
was going to say AlphaTauri.
AlphaTauri, sorry, yes, AlphaTauri.
And then I was either going to say... I say McLaren.
Yeah.
Then Alpine.
They've had a big upturn since Monaco, haven't they?
How many have you got left?
Well, Ferrari, Aston, Mercedes and Red Bull.
Yeah. So I'd go Ferrari, then Aston, then Mercedes, then Red Bull.
I couldn't disagree with you at all.
It's because, I don't know, maybe... no, I think I'd... would you say AlphaTauri is slightly better than McLaren, or... I think McLaren just got them. Like, just.
On one lap pace, I'd say McLaren have got them. race pace, it looks like AlphaTauri are stronger. I would say it depends on the scenario and track. I mean, it's like looking at Haas. I mean, they're qualifying in the top 10, but 15th, 17th today. It is quite close between Aston Martin and Mercedes. I wouldn't say necessarily at this track. It looks like Mercedes are much more dialed in. But other tracks so far, looks like Aston have been better.
The only reason as well, because I put Aston Martin below Mercedes, is because at least Mercedes have got 2 consistent drivers.
Yes. Rather than one Alonso and a Stroll.
Not being mean to Stroll, but sometimes he has a really good weekend. Like he's not having a bad showing now. But then obviously like last week he didn't do very well.
I'll be mean to him. I'm not sure anymore that his consistency means he should be an F1 driver.
Daddy's cash.
He's just too erratic. I mean, you can't have one race podium, next 4 races retirement. Not anymore. This is a formula of consistency. I mean, admittedly today he's showing that he is skillful enough to be there. Skill, yes. Consistency, no. Ooh, brake dust from the AlphaTauri there. I'd like to see that from Tsunoda's point of view. And Nick, we're talking about Stroll. Okay, so here's from the...
I think Alonso's going to overtake Stroll.
Oh. How do you view that, Sarah? Did Tsunoda push Zhou off? No contact.
Didn't touch him, yeah.
Looked like from Zhou's point of view there was contact.
That's a bit weird, that one. A bit hard to call. I mean, from that point of view, it didn't look like they touched, but he tried to avoid them touching. But I don't know. Seems like a difficult one to judge, that one. We just see it a few more times. Probably agree with Pedro there. Yuki stuck to his line, but Zhou was cautious.
I'd say
Maybe
that's
a
fair.
bit too over cautious.
You've got to read what Nick said.
Well, Aston Martin F1.
I think that's perfect. Okay, so do you want to do a top 10 rundown? When you finish eating your cookie?
So, we have, by no surprise, Max.
Ah.
Then Hamilton, then Russell, then Perez, Sainz, Stroll, Alonso, which I reckon is going to overtake Stroll. Ocon, Tsunoda, Zhou rounds out the top 10. And if you want to do the 11th to 20th.
Sure. Gasly, Leclerc, Piastri, Hulk, Albon, K-Mag, Norris, Sargent, Bottas. Moving on. I'm actually quite disappointed with some of the people in the top 10. Just the ones I'm going to pick out. Leclerc, the Haas team in general, Sargent and Bottas.
I mean...
Maybe De Vries as well, because he's still just existing really there at the moment, isn't he? I did actually forget De Vries.
Yeah, I think with Norris it was kind of... wasn't really his fault. It might have been his fault, but it might not have been his fault. But he's just not had the best starts. It's a shame to see him so like low down.
Yeah.
Other than that, like you say, Leclerc. Just seems like Ferrari, when it's in a pack,
Can't do
doesn't
anything.
do very well.
Yeah.
Also, I'm surprised Piastri has dropped down a little bit because he was round where Zhou was. Like you say, the half pace quite low down. Would have been nice to see them a bit higher up.
I'm just
Black
keeping
and
an
white
eye.
flag for Verstappen.
Yeah, track limits. I'm just keeping an eye because I think Perez is going to be a very big danger to Russell. He's only 5 seconds off, and when he came out of the pits, he was 11. Turn 1 incident involving Tsunoda and Zhou noted, forcing another driver off the track. I think that's a little bit. No, I mean,
a bit harsh if it comes from that.
It's not Max pushing someone off. It's no, I don't. No.
What's Alonso saying?
I didn't think that Alonso would ask to pass Stroll.
Race. Get past him properly, Alonso. Don't ask. Just get around him.
For the championship, in terms of outright positioning, Stroll should let Alonso go. But that said...
Why is Perez leading the drive of the day?
Where did he start?
Where did you start?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew.
It was outside the top 10, I think.
Yeah, it was something like 15th or 16th. I'm just bringing it up now. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, Perez started... Oh, 11th. Oh, it's not as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not surprising for him to climb up in a Red Bull. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Nick, that's a reference, mate. That's from 2002. Where's Jean Todt when you need him? Let Lando pass for the championship. In place of Lando, it was Michael and Barrichello at Austria. Woo! Oh. Whoa! He lost another front wing there.
Ho.
One of the hardest people you can try and pass is K-Mag.
Yeah.
Okay, there goes Max with the fastest lap. Shocker.
That graphic. Like Leclerc chasing Gasly for 11th.
Nick, are you showing your age? Me too.
Oh, Tsunoda penalty. Tsunoda penalty for that.
That's
5
harsh.
seconds for that.
That's harsh.
That's the harshest penalty I think I've seen for a while. That was harsh. Especially because we don't think there was contact from one point of view of the cameras. That was harsh.
If they maintain that consistently, fine. But Max can now no longer push people off the track then, because that wasn't even contact. So 5 seconds for... Whoa, that ruins Yuki's race. That will put him about 11th or 12th.
Yeah. That seems hella harsh. What's Max saying there?
They're saying don't go over the white lines anymore. Stop getting track limit
Oh.
problems. Now that he's got the fastest lap. Okay, and Perez is not catching Russell anymore. Yeah, and as Pedro says, I was just thinking the same thing. I believe within half an hour of the end of the race, they have an opportunity to appeal the penalty.
I'd appeal it if I was them.
Yeah, I mean, that is literal points on the line there. If it was for 12th, I wouldn't bother, but that's literally 2 points, which is very valuable to an AlphaTauri. And at the moment, let's have a look at the championship standings. Tsunoda is only on 2 points. That would double his point total and put him up to 14th. And for the constructors, that would put them only 2 points behind Alfa Romeo. We're saying that Zhou's going to get a point, so you put him 3 points rather than 4. Or 5 as it's going to be, potentially. Well, you can guarantee that the Alpine will appeal the appeal. Because they stand to win from this.
Max's mirrors, not where he wanted to be.
Yep.
I reckon Max and Lando, Lando wouldn't have minded being in Max's mirrors if he was still on the second row.
Yep. But sadly, he did run into the back of Hamilton lap 1, turn 2.
But could you say that would have... No, not really.
That would have what?
I was gonna say that because at the beginning we were being like, was it Hamilton's fault? Was it Lando's fault? Not sure. If it's a bit of both, and obviously Lando didn't take that avoiding action that maybe Zhou took just then. Then why didn't that one get reviewed? And then the one that Zhou and Tsunoda.
They do tend...
The thing that happened, then that got reviewed and got a penalty.
They do tend to let a lot of lap 1 incidents go because it's chaotic. But maybe going forwards they need to actually look at them.
But to be fair, in these F1 races, it all happens on lap 1.
It does. So Leclerc wants to get ahead of Gasly because with the 5-second penalty for Tsunoda, it will be for a points-paying position, potentially. And Perez is still... okay, he is actually closing in on Russell, but it's still at 2.5 seconds on the last lap.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about that for Russell. So any second now we're going to be seeing Max come through to take the win. And it's been quite easy for him.
Yeah. You think, well, just doing what he's doing.
Oh god, max points and Max Verstappen. Do you not pleasantly surprised with the pace of the Mercedes here?
Peace for them. Seem to be, I guess, going, well, not copying, but going down the route of that they need side pods.
Yeah. Okay, so Aston Martin did not allow Stroll to, Alonso to pass Stroll. Not a big surprise.
For an outright, well, I can't speak, outright pace, I would have expected him to just drive past.
Yeah.
Just Chiquito.
Oh, whenever, wherever she is, she's always lovely. See what I did there?
Oh. Oh. Put my drink down and then he knocked over everything. Chaos. Bless you.
Thank you.
Just read what Pedro said.
What's that?
That Alonso, it ends his 100% podium streak finish. No, 100% podium finish streak this season.
He does indeed.
Official driver of the day was Hamilton.
Okay. It is really nice to see that the Mercedes are so much closer to the Red Bull. I mean, at the start of the season, they were like a minute off.
And I think that's what anyone wants, is to see more cars at the front fighting.
Yeah. Regardless of what team that they are racing for.
Exactly, 100%. Because what we were promised, well, not that we were promised, what we were sold is that these new regulations would promote closer racing like straight away, and it just hasn't really.
No, I do agree with you. I mean, last year they were a lot better, but where the cars have been developed from the original spec, it's a lot different to the intention of what they were. They are harder to follow, the other cars again, but at least this race has shown overtaking is possible, if mostly with DRS.
Yeah.
So that penalty for Tsunoda, how do we all feel? Harsh or justified?
Very harsh.
Yeah. How do we all feel otherwise, should we hand Max the title now, ask him to take the rest of the year off?
Probably.
You have to forgive me, I can't remember the name of the guy, but there was a World's Strongest Man Championship in the 60s and 70s, and there was one guy who won it 3 times in a row, and they asked him to stop competing. He actually did retire for quite a few years, just so someone else could win it. Maybe they need to do it to Max. Just too damn good. Oh, and we got hosted by Lewis's favourite teammate,
Brittany.
Lewis finished second. Is his career over?
Saying that, obviously, with the Max domination, they could have said that when Lewis was dominating as well. So
True.
I'll just take a day off.
True. But at least Bottas would come out every so often and go, "I've beaten you." every so often.
Yeah.
And at least Vettel was getting in the mix of picking up wins as well. Now it is just Max and occasionally Perez winning when Max is at the back starting. And we haven't had a non-Red Bull winner yet this year, have we?
We haven't, I don't think. Correct us if we're wrong, Pedro.
It is actually nice to see Lewis getting cheered, because when he was winning all the time, he was getting booed all the places. Again, so was Vettel when he was winning everything.
I had to leave for about just saying that we think there's not been a non-Red Bull winner so far this year.
Yes.
That's what we were discussing, and we said, correct us if we're wrong. Yeah, as Nick says, no, Max and Checo shared the wins.
Yeah, that's a bit silly, mate. Ducking autocorrect.
Stupid auto carrot.
Banana. Didn't you say something funny with bananas once? Or was that Katie?
I don't know.
Somebody did in my chat, and it was like, "Oh, I didn't mean banana." It just reminded me of that. It's kind of a shame to see that Mercedes have ditched the no side pod, but they needed to. And
no side pod was doing no good.
Yeah. It was one of those things, it looked fantastic, innovative, and potentially amazing, but it just wasn't.
Maybe they hold it until 2026, and then it might.
Yeah. Well,
worth it.
You will often find ideas like this come around, so you might see it revisited in a couple of years, like you say. it is worth saying that this Red Bull, although picking up every win, can you see the guy stealing the signs there?
He's like, that's mine. I'm taking that.
Oh dear. But it is worth saying that it is not the most dominant Red Bull ever. If you go back decades and years, some cars finished nearly a lap ahead of everyone.
Surprised that.
What happened here? You're looking like a good country.
Yeah, exactly.
But they were still.
Must have been playing attention.
They move on
Did you
eventually.
just pass everybody, or was it when they
Yeah,
stopped?
yeah, past Fernando, Carlos, maybe Stroll, and Ocon maybe. I don't know. Can't really remember now.
I guess did you undercut someone or overcut?
No, it passed most on track and probably overcut.
Yeah.
I thought it was rain at one point, but it was sweat from my hair going on the visor.
Making conversation in
At least
the
Russell thought it was
drivers'
quite funny about
briefing
the sweat.
or debrief room there.
That's an interesting podium. That's quite unique, isn't it?
Doesn't a few of them do that?
I've not seen it before. Well, I've not noticed it before. Apparently, Aston Martin are now 18 points behind Mercedes. Although, being fair, that is like potentially just one result.
Yeah.
Ferrari are on the podium.
Ferrari are always on the podium.
Max is on the Ferrari podium. How many times are we going to hear the Dutch and Austrian national anthems? I think that's Max's 40th win now.
More than that, isn't it?
I'm going to say I don't know.
I have no idea either. It probably popped up, but I missed it. So, I don't know. To be honest.
Well, it says 39 on Google, but that might be because it's not been updated yet. I'm not entirely
No.
sure.
40th, yeah. Yeah, 40 wins, says Rob. Also, hello, Rob.
Yeah. Someone hasn't updated Wikipedia either. They are absolutely
What?
slacking.
They've not updated it yet.
I know, they're absolutely
That's
slacking.
so bad. They should run it straight away.
Yeah, and the only variation. Go on.
As we say that, someone will go and do it.
The only variation we get in the national anthems is when it's the Mexican and Dutch Austrian national anthems. Did you hear the? I think it was from FP1. Don't quote me. Max was on the team radio to, I think it was Christian or something like that, and he heard a phone ringing in the background. And he said, "Tell Helmut to answer his phone," and it was Helmut's phone. He was like, "Yeah, Helmut, your phone's ringing." And he was driving around the track. He was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" You gotta enjoy the multitasking.
True.
53-point lead. So that is 2 race victories and 2 DNF differences, and essentially 3 fastest laps. Difference. Well, Pedro, we can all multitask. We all do that when we're streaming and racing on F1 GT. but we'd have to contend with the G-forces and the physicality of the F1 car. So it is
Yeah.
godlike.
Just before he hears Ferrari pit him.
In Abu Dhabi a couple of years back, not the one we're thinking of, he asked, "Did the Ferraris just double stack?" And then you just hear Christian go, "How did you know that?" So I heard it.
It's the thing though, when you're so in tune with driving, it then becomes like not something you do automatically, because obviously there still is a lot of physical stuff that goes on. But when you're so in tune with the car, the track, etc., that you can then like divert some of your attention to other things. So maybe that's where Max can do that.
He's definitely got spare capacity.
Yeah, definitely.
Schumacher was famous for doing that as well. Not to the same level, but having extra capacity where he could work out what other people were doing with their strategy as well as his own end driving. But double podium for Mercedes, that's very positive.
Yeah.
Right, shall we move to the breakdown?
Yeah, if you wanna.
Let's
I'm ready.
do that. Right.
Let's do it. You may see Midnight just disappear quickly. I'll get him back as soon as I can. I just need to get something.
If I do it right, hopefully not.
Should be here somewhere. Not here yet. Give him a minute. He'll will come back on my one in just a second.
Am I not there at the moment with you?
No.
I'd say click off it and click back on it.
That's because I need to add something so it captures it, but it's in pain. 1 minute. Add source. He appeared again and then
I'm not moving.
No, it's on my side.
I know.
Moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster. Yeah, Pedro's logo is there. That's when we did the trio one. But there's something on there that lets me capture the screen, but it's just not transferring over.
I believe in you. Maybe not your laptop.
Yeah, I don't believe in my laptop anymore. I believe in miracles.
Would it help if I restarted my camera?
No. It's nothing to do with your camera. Nothing at all.
I was just checking.
It's just something that I've got a thing where if I click off Discord, it will take away your camera until I go back onto Discord. It shows your camera again.
That's about right. Well, I'm sorry if you guys can hear a bird fight happening outside my window. Hey!
Right. Oh, we're getting there.
Literal bird fight happening outside my window.
What sort of birds?
Sparrows, I think.
Right, let me just get rid of this Discordy thingy, Bobby. It did. It just appeared, Nick. It just appeared. Right, I'm gonna add this here. Bim bom, done, and then he's back, and we've got a new. We've got the what's it called? The ranking system. So we're back.
Are you ready now?
Oh no, he disappeared.
Ah!
Spoke too soon. Right, we'll put it over there. Right. And we're back.
Would you like a second guess?
No, we're back. We're back.
Okay.
I believe.
You believe.
Well, it's the thing that because I think I removed something last time, and then when I tried to add it back, it wouldn't add because of the technical difficulties last time, and then it just was wanting not to add here, so I just had to re-add it again and then do all the things again. So
We love OBS. Right.
But we're there. We got it running. And
Cool.
We love some technical difficulties as always.
Don't we ever?
It's never not like one of our, well, especially my streams without at least one technical difficulty.
Never mind. Right.
Oh, so controversial opinion here.
Oh.
Bottas needs to retire as fast as possible. Bit harsh, maybe. Just, but maybe I mean, he's still quite young.
All's coming from a fellow Finn. Problem is, you are right. He's not delivering. I was trying to think of a way to defend Bottas, but finishing P19 when your teammate is in P9. I think judging it by one race, it's a bit harsh. But he does seem to be more consistently now being beaten by Zhou. It's one of those things where you get an experienced driver. Sometimes their experience means more than their outright pace. But I think judge it at the halfway point in the season and see if he's anywhere near Zhou or ahead of him in the point standings. That's the easiest way to tell.
And funny enough, we were actually talking about him earlier, saying that Midnight was saying that he thinks he might be waiting till Audi comes in.
Yeah. Audi's taken over Alfa Romeo in 2026. There's going to be a new power unit, new team. Audi are looking quite set to be quite a powerful team if they start developing their engine now, which they are doing. But by then, he's going to have had a stint at Alfa Romeo equal to the length of his Mercedes time. And yeah, his performance is a bit questionable at the moment, putting it politely.
Isn't Alfa set to go to Haas next year?
Yep.
So what will Alfa become before it's Audi?
Haas Alfa Romeo?
No, not at Haas, sorry. What will Alfa Romeo become when it's not Alfa Romeo? Will it just go back to Sauber?
Yeah, Sauber again. And I hope you remember this, but I called that. I did say every 4 or 5 years.
That phone.
So I pick up that phone because I called it. Because they do this every few years. We've got a title sponsor. We are going to be with them forever. Oh, well, no, we're back to Sauber.
No.
They do this every 3 or 4 years. I promise you. Oh. Yeah, and do you know what? I will agree. Zhou is actually impressing quite a lot, and I'm surprised at that. Because after last year, I was a bit like,
No.
Shall we get on with the breakdown?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, and I just realised this isn't in any sort of alphabetical order because we've got Russell at the end and Max Verstappen fourth in the end. I thought it was in alphabetical, but it's not. Anywho, we're going to start at the left and work up.
Alright.
I've got the results all up and ready. So,
Cool.
Alexis Albinus. Sounds like a Harry Potter character.
It does, yeah.
Okay. Okay, finished in 16th, started 18th, up 2 positions in a Williams.
He was helped out by Lando. Technically, maybe going like one proper place. Should we just start off our line of average drives and see? Or
You want to put him in a C and just use that as a base, don't you?
yeah, C is always my like. He's not done anything special. He's just raced and finished.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to agree with. I think that's a good starting value. If anything, we need to probably think of going forwards what we think of a C for a driver and put them in first and then work around it. So yeah, right. Master Alonso, Jedi Master Alonso. Okay, he finished in 7th, and he started in 8th, so he's gone up a place. But again, he has technically benefited from Norris.
Don't know.
I kind of feel it's a C for him as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we can give him a B. He hasn't. He's done some overtakes. I mean, but the whole grid were overtaking each other all day long today.
You don't have to think. Seriously, he stopped it. I mean, he's a top tier driver and he's a top tier person, but
yeah. A for Alonso. So yeah, honestly, high C. He's done pretty well, but he has still finished behind Stroll. So yeah. Bottas finished 19th, started 16th. That's easily a D again, isn't it? It's got to be.
Maybe an E. Maybe an E, but
I wouldn't go so far to say E because he's not been off the.
He's below average, is what I'd say at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a Grand Prix list ranking for today.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone who ranks Alonso so low.
Yeah, it's just for today. It's just based on
just for
this
today.
race.
So what we do at the end of every race, we do a tier list on the race, so like where they finished, basically analysing their performance in the race and then ranking them from there. We're not ranking them as drivers or as like who we like better, just performance and results wise from the race.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's just based on the single Grand Prix. We do factor in qualifying a little bit, but it's
more the race, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nick de Vries finished in 14th and started in 14th. Weak C?
Maybe, yeah.
He had a good couple of moments dicing with the entire field, I saw, but
like you said, it's kind of not doing much at the moment.
Yeah.
Just existing.
Yeah, Toom says that he feels that De Vries is underperforming at the moment. That is a general consensus when you look at the fact, where did his teammate finish? Well, he finished 9th. No, 10th, but he's relegated to 12th. Excuse me.
I'd 100% agree with that his Williams debut did make him look like he was super fast and was going to get consistent points all the time. But
I have an opinion on this.
what?
I don't think De Vries is gelling well with that car and that Red Bull ethos.
Maybe not.
It's like we have seen Gasly come out of Red Bull and he seems to be doing better. Some drivers just do not work with some teams and cars. So I'm a little bit sympathetic towards De Vries. But that's neither here nor there. So
It's that thing. He probably had the choice to go to Williams before Sargent, but he went, I'm going out the Mercedes boys. Because remember last year he did test sessions for all 3 of the Mercedes Powers cars, and then he just went, nope, see you, I'm off to Red Bull.
Yeah.
So,
But it kind
I
of
know
would.
it's kind of his own, like, decision.
Yeah.
Like,
I
his
think it
own
would have
fault
been.
for that.
It would have been better if he'd have gone for Williams. At least he would have been up against a known quantity in Albon and whatnot. So, yeah, it's neither here nor there. Right. So to free C because he's just existed today, really, hasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Pierre Gasly finished 10th. Started 10th. He did have a 6th place penalty, so he would have been 4th. But so, 10th to 10th essentially. What do you think?
I mean, I think he's just got to be a C again. It's like, I'm not seeing much from him today.
Sarah says C for all of them. Okay.
No,
Hamilton.
but C's just my average, like, done nothing special. He's just got to the finish.
Okay,
Sort
so
of thing.
Hamilton started 4th, finished 2nd, so that's
Three
C
ads.
from Sarah.
3 ads.
Yeah, C from Sarah for Hamilton because he finished only 2 places up.
No. I'd be tempted to go for Hamilton for a B because I think he wasn't. I don't know. Maybe like a mid B because it's a good result for him.
I would agree with you.
Consistent through the race. Didn't do necessarily anything wrong.
Tim says put all drivers in the C and call it a day. I would agree with you. I think it's a B. It's just he passed Symes
But nearly everyone, not actually saying that's an overstatement. Yeah, I'd say that was an overstatement. But well, we saw Perez, Hamilton, someone else coming back, overtake Sainz. But then that was it. Nothing else happened. But like Tim says, I think Verstappen was out of reach, so that was the best that Hamilton could do in that car. But I think a second in the Merc is deserving of a B.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's not particularly a special race from him, but it's very solid, and it is good to see that Mercedes aren't a million miles away from Red Bull anymore. So
It's the raid. Thank you very much for the follow, MSB Life. And thank you for following Coupier. And thank you so much for the raid. Sorry, because I've got my alerts turned down, I don't quite hear everything.
terrible.
But thank you so much. Much love to you, and I do apologise.
Well, Raiders, welcome. We're doing our breakdown of the Grand Prix now.
Yeah, see, we got super serious. we were discussing like performances and stuff. So you caught me when I was like super concentrated, like staring at the tier list.
And we've got Sarah wanting to put everyone in the C, but that's besides the point.
No, I feel bad. I'm just like, if they haven't done anything wrong, but they haven't done anything amazing, then C's my like first go-to.
Right. And on that note, we're going to move to Leclerc, whom started 19th in the pit lane
Yeah.
and ended 11th.
Don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one.
Do you know what? My instant response was he's gone up 8 places, but he's in a Ferrari, which should be a mile a minute quicker than a lot of these cars. But I can't give him a B for overtaking 8 drivers. That includes AlphaTauris and McLaren going backwards, 2 Haas drivers, Williams, Bottas.
Do you know what it probably is? And I think Tim and Pedro agree. A C.
And on to K-Mag. Even I knew that was coming. I just absolutely knew it. K-Mag, 17th to 18th. It's not a good one from him, is it?
No. I was trying to think like, and then I was like, no, can't really say anything. Can't say much.
It is one of those things. I don't think I can bring myself to put it in a D rank, but he has no, wait. He's finished behind Norris, who didn't have a front wing for part of the first lap.
I'd probably agree with Toom here. I reckon a D.
It's either
That's me being harsh.
it's either the weakest C possible, bordering on a D, but I don't think I can put him in the same category as Leclerc, who went up 8 places. So.
And Riam, could you thank MSB Life for me? I have got to fix the settings regarding that because I got some sort of restriction that I put on a while ago, but which I think you need a verified account, not a verified like thingy, but like an email or a phone number. Because ages and ages ago I had lots and lots of bots just keep following and spamming and everything, so I had to turn something on. So I do apologise. I'm sorry that she can't interact with me. I'll change those settings. Well, I'll lower them because I think I had them on the highest setting. But I appreciate it, and could you thank her for me? Because I do really appreciate it. I don't want you to think that I don't. I just was super concentrated on all the tier lists, you know, like all those C-rated. So I just wanted to say thanks, and sorry for interrupting you midnight.
It's all good. As long as we're all happy. Right, your favourite driver. Lando Norris. I'm sorry, I think it's a D.
It's gonna be, yeah, I was gonna say. Oh no, I actually thought D as well. I wasn't gonna rate that because I think that first lap incident, it was a bit like F for Norris.
I think someone they've just put him in C.
You know us so well.
Yeah. What's your point of view on lap 1? Lap 1, turn 1, turn 2?
Don't know. It was. I think I'd have to see it again, but from what I saw, I said F because of the pay respects, not F tier. I don't know. Some could say that maybe Hamilton didn't give him enough room, was too slow, or Lando has been too ambitious. I don't know how to call that first lap incident. But then what I think with the penalty with Tsunoda, that was harsh considering there was actual, from what we've seen, no contact whatsoever.
True, and it's hard to judge it.
I'm still in 2 minds.
Yeah, it's hard to judge it just being on a lap 1 incident. It's leaving it.
100%.
Yeah, in my view, Hamilton has come across, but Lando was fully behind him. Hamilton was entitled to move, and it kind of looks like Lando has just gone up the back of Lewis. So, racing incident I think is fair because there's no intention from either of them, but if at worst it's maybe a little bit silly from Lando, and unfortunately it's ruined his race.
But also to present a new insight is that there was no contact, but if Stroll stayed there would have been no more room. So yeah, potentially.
But on that point of view, we have to look at what Max did on lap 1, and that was run signs a little bit wide. So, as long as it is implemented consistently, I haven't got a problem with it. But they have to do it consistently. So, okay. So, yeah, Lando into a D rank because he has kind of caused that incident. which is still better than Bottas in my opinion for that race, because he's finished ahead of Bottas. So that shows you how weak that Bottas was today, I think. Anywho, Ocon, who's Stephen's favourite driver.
Ocon.
Seb, Ocon. Oh, good times. So, okay, Esteban finished P8, started P6, so he has gone backwards. Perez has come through. Stroll's gone down. Russell's come up. It's kind of weird for Ocon. I suppose he's fallen behind Alonso, Perez and Russell, really.
Maybe a high C.
I do think it is a C, because you can't give him a B for going down 2 places.
No, 100%.
I'm not even sure it's a high C. I think it's a medium to low C. So we almost need to be looking at C plus and C. If anything, we need like A star, A, B, C plus, C minus. Because there is a distinction between you did all right and you just squeaked in, and it always seems to be in the C grade. But okay, C, put them there. Alpine C's.
I'd agree.
All right, Perez, 11th to 4th. I didn't even have to look that one up.
Good to remember him.
No.
Actually, no, you did. Yeah. Halfway through towards the end of the race, you were like, "Oh, where did he start?"
Yeah, that's because I remembered it from then, because I didn't have to look it up this time. Different.
Nice.
But, 11th to 4th, 7 places in the fastest car in the race. I'd be still tempted to give him a B. Because he's made on-track passes, but he is in the fastest car, so we make an allowance for that. I almost caught Russell, but Russell did start behind Perez. I do think that is a solid B. High B. Middle B. No, middle B for Perez.
Mid B.
Mid B. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon he just squeaks in there.
You're so decisive. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Right. Piastri, 13th. Where did he finish? No, we finished in 13th, and he started. Where are you? 9th. Down 4 places. Let me know what you think.
I saw that.
You were supposed to.
Just for that, I'm going to say D now.
Thank you, because I was thinking D anyway.
No, you can't really rate someone's gone downwards. Saying that we did rate someone that went downwards. I think compared to who was around him, I think a D. Yeah.
I'd say that.
Because
no incidents, no nothing,
Josh
but has
did
gone
say.
back. Yeah, no incidents, no nothing, but has gone backwards, basically. But we were. Well, I know I said at the beginning that I think McLaren's race pace isn't as good as the qualifying pace. It could easily be that, but
Could be.
on the face of it, no, it's still not. I can't give someone a C for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Carlito Sainz started P2.
This one's tough for me. I think, like you, he could have defended a lot more than he actually did. So I'd say a low. No, I don't know if that's me being mean. I'd say a mid C.
I'm gonna be harsh. I think it's a D.
Really?
Each and every time someone got behind him, he didn't even defend. Didn't try.
True.
and we've just given Piastri a D for something essentially the same. Second to fifth.
Maybe.
Perez
Yeah.
come from 11th. Russell come from 12th to finish ahead of Sainz.
Go on then.
Talked
You've won me over.
I've talked you into it. I mean, if you look at it from the other perspective, we gave Leclerc a C for going up. What was it, 7 or 8 places?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can give Sainz the same rank. Simple as that.
Yeah. No, you sold me over on that one.
Sweet win. Sargent. Theory, just 20th to 20th.
D. We'll call D the new average.
Right, so mate, it's the same as Bottas, really. It's just
F again.
we kind of reserve F for someone who has screwed up badly.
Has fudged up. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, caused crashes. Thinking Bottas bowling in Hungary, that sort of thing. I mean, F is. Well, we have another category which we don't need today, which is NA, which is for drivers who don't really go past the first, say, 10 laps due to mechanical failures and whatnot. We just don't rank them. But Sargent, he wasn't running last the entire race, but pit stops up and down. At the end of the day, he's still behind Bottas, who had a terrible showing as well. So, about the same.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not terrible.
No.
Stroll started P5, ended P6. Compared to his teammate Alonso, was P8 to P7 and finished on the back of him. It's about the same.
Yeah. Yeah, can't really say much, to be honest. I think it's just on par with Alonso. I reckon Alonso, if he really wanted to, could have passed him.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's a weaker performance than Alonso, considering he's gone backwards. Alonso's gone forwards and had Perez and Russell pass him effectively. But I'll say, hey Mandy again. I think it's a weak C. It's a good result for him, but it's not a great performance. Was that fair?
I'd agree with that. We all know C is my favourite rank.
Well, we equaled it with D's there for a minute.
That's the first time that's ever happened.
A little bit.
Do you agree?
I think so. Right, Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda. Right, where did he start? 15th. Finished. Did he finish 10th? No, he finished 9th or 10th, but he's been relegated to 12th.
The 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he was 9th or 10th. I think he was 9th on track.
Yes.
Pedro says a B. And he was 9th.
He did run some. We've got D, I guess, because he made a mistake like Norris.
June, when you say a mistake, what mistake was that? Was that the incident with Zhou? Because I'm not convinced on that one. He had the corner. I'm not convinced. And that penalty.
I put him in my favourite rank.
Really? You're going to go for a C?
A C.
I was thinking B. If we meet somewhat in the middle and put him as a high C. Like
Yeah, I'll be the middleman. Yeah, we've got two with D, Pedro with B, you with B, I'll go C. I don't know, it's good to see him in the top 10.
I'm going on the theory that he started 15th and ended 9th. Okay, I'd be happy with a C in this one.
What about a high C?
A high C. I think on track he's been good. I'm not convinced on that penalty.
No.
Benefit of the doubt, we'll go for a C.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
If the penalty didn't obviously move him down, I would say like low B.
Yeah. Without knowing what AlphaTauri have done, well, they've got to be appealing that, because that's going to be points to them. It's going to be vital against Alfa Romeo going forwards.
Yeah.
Max. It's not an A star, but it is an A. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Ran away with it.
Fastest lap, pole position.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
I'm sorry, Tim. I forgot that I turned off the sound alerts. I'll gift you back those points after the stream, right? I forgot that I removed certain things and then I added certain things. Yeah,
generally speaking, we don't have our redeems on during our podcasts.
Yeah, this is the only serious point, serious one, like stream we do.
Easy, semi-serious.
Semi-serious.
Semi-serious. Right.
Semi-serious.
Next one, Joe. Finished, 10th on track, but 9th gifted the point. Started 13th. I think in that car, that is an easy B. That car is a bit of a dog. Come on.
Try and convince me. A bit more.
Okay, his teammate finished 19th.
True.
Joe technically finished 10th, but finished 13th, and he's had...
And he would have finished...
I suppose he's gained he's gained 1 point from Norris being dropped out. But
he's gained a place from Sonoda now.
Yeah. So it would have been 11th to 13th to 11th. I feel harsh giving him a C for going up 2 positions and getting points in a dog of a car when his teammate is 19th.
But would you say it's a B when we've rated both Merc drivers as a B?
Joe, I think Pedro's hit the nail on the head. It's somewhere around Yuki.
Yeah. Agree.
Though you could probably argue he should have got ahead of Yuki. But it's somewhere around him, so...
I suppose that's why the penalty was put in place.
Yeah.
Because he was close to overtaking Yuki.
Yeah. I think we've got to put him at the C, just because he's not... Yeah, alright. I'll concede that one. Hulkenberg! Finished P15. Do you remember where he started? 7th.
Top 10,
7th.
Yeah, I was saying top 10.
Apart from having the fastest lap for a good 5 to 10 laps, he just went backwards. I mean, good on-track action. The Haas, when it comes to race pace, I think is similar, not in actual pace, but it's similar in concept to the McLaren. Quicker in qualifying, slower in the race.
Tim saying that Haas is not a great car, so a B or a C.
B? But going down 8 places. I can't give that. I can't give it.
Although, his saving grace was that hell of a move, that double overtake.
Yeah?
If you remember it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
On outset of just looking at the places, I was ready to give him a D. Easily. But yeah, the race pace of that Haas is horrible.
Tim says, you just said the car slow in the race, so it's dropping down surprising. True.
But he has a history of nuking those tyres quite badly. And you saw it in the last couple of races. He's just fallen back through the race, and K-Mag hasn't. Where's he finished in relation to K-Mag? 18th for K-Mag, 17th qualified. So he's dropped 1 place. Hulkenberg has dropped 7. 8, sorry. I feel weird giving Hulkenberg the same rank as, say, Leclerc or someone who's gone up 7 places, but then again, it's a different scenario.
Different car as well.
If it was anyone else, not in a Haas, from 7th to 15th, that would be easy D. What do you think? Is it a C?
What did we rate Leclerc too high?
But Leclerc has gone up at least. I mean, he started 19th, ended
In a
11th.
Ferrari though.
True. And then we gave
Difficult
signs.
one, this one.
It is. It's genuinely confusing because I think there's reasons to put them in B, C, and D. I think we have to go to the C rank. What do you think?
I mean, that's our usual one. When we caught this, it's just chuck him in C.
Well, on pace, he was terrible.
Oh yeah. And a few saving grace, like the overtake.
The double overtake into turn 1.
Double overtake, yeah. Yeah.
Call it a C and move on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put him in C because I don't know where it exists in that genre at all.
So you just all jumbled up anyway.
Well, I had them relatively in a line, but I just don't know where Hulk exists. He's somewhere in those 3 categories.
Yeah.
Georgius Russell started P12, ended P3 on the podium.
I'd say B.
12 to 3rd.
Maybe an A then.
I would be considering an A.
Yeah, I'd go A. That was me being harsh. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, 4 drivers kind of did shine today, and all the others were...
Just a bit meh.
I think some showed more than others. I mean, I think the Aston drivers did pretty damn well. Zhou did well. Yuki did well. I think we have to move Albon in that.
Yeah, say Albon come down. Judging where we rated everyone else.
But I'll put him with Hulkenberg. Yeah, I'd say that's roughly about fair.
I mean, I think C is like the average one. I think D is like below average. I agree with where we put everyone else. And like you say, there was only 4 drivers that really deserve being any higher than average.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, the 2 Red Bull drivers and the 2 Mercedes drivers were literally a class above the rest today. As simple as that.
Pedro would argue that Piastri should be higher. Because he did have Charles, George and Checo behind him.
Alright, let's have a look. Piastri finished 13th, started 9th.
I mean, he's still the highest finishing rookie out of the 3.
It is his first time there. Given the race pace and given what we said about Hulk, okay, I'll be willing to promote him to a C.
We had the same idea there.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, go easy on him.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be willing to promote him into a C with alongside into a weak C, mind you. Okay. I think we can give him that. I do think Sainz has had a bit of a poor race. K-Mag, not great. Norris, lap 1 incident ruined his race, and then he didn't really sort of recover from there. Bottas,
No.
poor. Sargent, who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that list. Hopefully, you guys somewhat agree as well.
Yeah. K-Mag has been a bit strange this season. He seems to do really well or really oddly. Just does what, does K-Mag things. Which is why he got dumped by Haas in the first place.
But of course, McLaren is usually the best between Alpha and Williams. Yeah, 100%. Midway through the stream, we actually did rate the teams. We kind of ranked them on what we thought was the best performing one, and then the worst performing one.
Yeah, and if memory serves, it was bottom to top. It was Williams and Haas interchanging sometimes. AlphaTauri,
No, it was Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, McLaren, Ferrari, Aston, Mercedes.
No, Alpine.
Alpine, sorry, yeah.
Then I've forgotten.
Yeah, it was more or less championship order, really.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what would you rate the race out of 10 then?
Oh, race out of 10.
Entertaining.
Yeah, a lot of overtakes.
Yeah, we don't give an actual A to something rank, otherwise Sarah put it in a C.
Yeah.
Compared to Monaco, which we gave like a 5.5, which it was chaotic and brilliant for the last 10 or 15 laps, but dull-ish up to then.
I'd say 6.5 to 7.
I'll go with a solid 7.
Right, just above average, but
Lots-
not like, oh my god, it was amazing, sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing until you've got people dicing for the top 3 positions on track. Some really good showings. 7. It's a good Barcelona race. Historically,
Is Australia a 10? No. Not how, considering how early we had to wake up, it was never going to be a 10.
yeah, we were a little bit weary for that one.
Yeah, we were saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back to bed. Yeah, well, I think a 6.5 or 7 is about right. Yeah, not brilliant, not fantastic. Lots of on-track action, which was great. Lots to talk about. No real stuff-ups, no real big incidents. Everyone finished. We've got some good drives and some meh drives, and that's about as far as it goes.
You quite enjoyed the race compared to some of the previous races at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all agree. Right, as Midnight was saying earlier, you were excited for this race. Did it live up to your expectations or your excitement levels, or not really?
Personally, I don't think it lived up to my expectations because we didn't get any rain. We got some sweat. No, I was hoping for more. But I am pleasantly happy that Verstappen isn't half a lap, 3/4 a lap ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, he only lapped up to, I want to say, Ocon. He didn't lap the Aston Martins, the head Ferrari, and his teammate, and the Mercedes this time.
And we think so, Tim, because on his radio he said there was rain at turn 5. And then a few laps later he said, did any other drivers report rain? And his engineer was like, no. He's like, oh, might be sweat then.
Yeah, it was. Well, at least he was honest. He thought it was quite funny, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's a mechanic thought it was quite amusing too.
To be fair, we thought it was quite funny as well.
Yeah. We were hoping for actual rain though, not just sweat.
And as Tim says also, Verstappen is 53 points in the lead now, and we're not even halfway through the season.
I'd noticed, which is literally 2 wins, 2 and 3 fastest laps ahead of anyone else. So, yeah.
I reckon you could probably wrap up this season within just over. No, it's probably being a little bit ambitious.
Let's have a look at.
I'd say 3/4 of the way through this season, he could wrap it up.
Yeah, let's go have a look at the calendar. What we've got left. Okay, next race is in fact Canada. So they're jetting off to North America after 1 European race.
Canada.
So Canada, Austria. Well, 1, 4, 8, 12, 15 races to go.
Yes.
Yeah, you could wrap it up by about Qatar, United States, even Japan at the earliest, I'd imagine. Depending on what Perez does.
Maybe Russell's trying to bait the other for a bit of stop, maybe. Red Bull gonna fly in Canada with those straights. Yeah, Red
Yeah.
Bull gives you wings.
Yeah, I always struggle to think of Red Bull fast on the straights because historically they've had Renault engines and against the Mercedes power unit, which has always been traditionally faster. But this and last year, that Honda designed engine is just the best of the field. And they've actually, I believe, they stopped the high rate concept, which is when the front end of the car was angled down with the back end angled up. With the ground effect, I don't think they do that so much anymore. Yeah, and then as Pedro said, Checo had a really terrible performance last week. Any more of those and it's championship basically over. Right.
Well, when it comes to Red Bull, we all know who they're gonna favour.
I was going to try and make a joke, but no, there's no point. It's Max.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think. Yeah, I agree with you there. Mathematically alive, but
The only
with
way,
Red Bull and everything.
yeah, the only way Max is going to be in danger of losing a championship is through multiple mechanical failures, but not likely. That's it, really. I mean, even when he gets a penalty, he has to take a new power unit and gearbox. That puts him P12, and he's still on the podium, P2 at worst.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as simple as that. The only hope for the others to catch up is if Red Bull hit their development limit in the next 2 races, and that's it. Because of the penalty that they got from the 2021 expenditure. It's not likely, is it?
No.
No, that car's too quick. Yes,
Yeah.
and he has embarrassed Checo a few times now. Especially Miami.
Yeah.
Right, anything you want to say, Sarah?
Other than that, not really. I agree with all the points that's been raised. Can we see? No, I was gonna say not really. If Red Bull's pace is still quite high, I was gonna say, could we see Merck get any closer in Canada? Probably not.
Maybe
we
not,
can
that's
dream.
right.
Other than that, I think it was a good race. Good few overtakes. Still think that penalty was harsh on Sonoda.
Yeah.
Other than that, just I'm glad. I had my fingers crossed that technical difficulties on that would leave us alone, and they did. So yay for us.
Yeah, compared to last week where it was terrible.
Compared to last week, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and doing the podcast again.
Same.
So, yeah.
Right, well, I guess we'll move on, draw this one to a close, and we'll be back for Canada on the podcast.
Canada.
And Sarah, it looks like we're doing the pre-GP, possibly, well, the post-GP, possibly Thursday night.
Okie dokie.
So that's the date that everyone seems to be available.
I believe I'm available too, so
Sweet.
count me in.
Works for me. Right. Well, okay, Pedro says before we go that when Red Bull do need to make most of the chances until, well, Red Bull, if they get any more updates, I guess, or not. But we'll see. But yeah,
We shall see.
it's been a pleasure.
And Aston with the upgrades.
Yes. Shall we send a raid to somebody?
Yeah, it sounds good. And I apologise again for not seeing the raid straight away. I might turn my follows and raid ones back on. Maybe change it from "you just got debated."
Might be an idea because
So-
that suits more GTA than it does F1.
Yeah. But other
Right.
than that,
If I can make a recommendation of someone to raid,
yeah, of course you can.
Levitius.
Oh, I'll go on for Artemis.
Ooh, okay.
Why don't we split? I'll raid Artemis, you raid Levitius.
I'll come with you, it's alright. We'll do the same. Artemis,
Sure.
It's been a long time since I've raided Artemis, so yeah, that sounds fair.
Cool. I mean, yeah, to be fair, they're both great options.
Exactly. I'm happy with either. Right. Shall we?
I'm just starting to raid now, just making sure I got the spelling right.
Generally, that helps.
Cool.
Well, the Tomb has recommended Shadow Legends, but I don't know who that is.
It's a game. Raid Shadow Legends is a game,
Right.
I believe. But
I
Tell
thought it
me
might
if
have been.
I'm
I thought it might have been a Twitch person as well, as I knew the game name, but sure.
but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. Thanks
Right,
for having me again.
No, thanks, sir.
Oh no, I've got the wrong name.
Have you sent it yet?
No, I cancelled it. I only put Artemis in. I forgot it's got the distinct bit in front.
Right.
I was just. I don't know who the other person was. Pro streamer. Yeah. I was gonna just. It was so close to going out, and I was like, oh, it's the wrong person. Right, let me get it. It's not distinct, is it? It's DSTINCT.
_ Artemis.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoops, my bad.
You're bad. Never mind.
My bad.
Right. Well, let's call it a night. Proverbially. And get
Thanks
on the
for
road.
starting it, Pedro. I think you started it.
That's about right. Right.
I literally about to start it, but thanks.
Sweet. In which case,
Yeah.
catch you all later. It's been fun.
Bye.
Laters.
See you when I see you.
Laters.
I'm trying to find.